Assalamu alaikum everyone. In this series we're going to be creating a simple registration form with Python and Flask web framework. We're going to be using MongoDB. And as well I would highly suggest installing MongoDB Compass. And basically when here I have like full name, email and password. I already put everything in. You have been logged in. So register, login. It like prompted like wrong password. Okay, it's gonna show that I'm logged in. So then it says like you have been logged in, so I cannot make a new account. You are signed out. So that's basically it. In addition, I'm gonna attach in the video link below the Medium blog of this episode, so otherwise you can follow as well this guide if you prefer reading. So when you have actually created a Cloud MongoDB account, for demonstration purpose, I'm gonna create a new project. Test. Create project. Here you have all these options. Network access. Be sure to add an IP address. I had the problem that I add current IP address, but if you wanna use it anywhere from any location, allow access from anywhere, so it's gonna be 0000. Confirm. Here are like being deployed changes. So go from database, build a database. For this purpose, it can actually be free tier. You choose your cloud provider. I'm based in Europe, so I'm gonna use Frankfurt. Create cluster. So it can be just admin, or actually auto generate. You can copy. So create a user. It actually takes a little bit of a while. Okay, finish and close. Okay, go to database. So it's still being created for 3 minutes. Close collections. We don't have any for now. We actually don't have to create here because we're gonna be creating our collection, so-called table in the MongoDB, but here in MongoDB is called collection instead of table compared to traditional SQL. We're gonna take connect. So here you see 3 options. Mongo shell, the one that you can from command prompt. So I already pasted here like the requirements txt. We're gonna make as well a py and a template folder. Template here. And it's a good practice to actually create a virtual environment to store these requirements. So we select the Python interpreter, this one. So virtual env. If you're on Linux, obviously it has to be like differently created. ls venv scripts activate, and now we'll want to actually install all of these dependencies. Pip install requirement. So from Flask import Flask, it will import render template request to handle request url4 redirect and session. Import by Mongo. Import by crypt to encrypt the password name. So app secret key for convention can be just as testing. Client by Mongo MongoDB client, and now we actually have to go here where we created our database, connect with application. You can see there are like multiple, and we select Python latest, replace password with the password of the user. So copy, paste, specify this, admin, DB client. So now we're gonna get database. If it doesn't exist, we're gonna create it. So it's total records. You can name it whatever you please. And register. And then the here it's gonna be end of the line. If name equals to run the app, set debug to true. We don't have any templates currently, but I can still try to render to run the menu. So we're gonna have to use app route to set up the route. So in the templates already created two HTML scripts. In the base one, it's here. It's important to block title and end block to define the title. We're gonna use actually Bootstrap for the styling and for it to be a little bit easier. Otherwise, using traditional CSS would take quite a lot of time. Here we define the navbar, background, name it registry form. We have it, collapse. And when it collapses, we're gonna have three options. Either register is like a current one, login, and logout. We don't have them currently, but gonna add them later on. And here in the scripts, we have additional jQuery for often like for additional styling regarding the Bootstrap functionality. And here we actually block content and end block to define when the certain block has ended. And now in the index, we're gonna use extend. We're gonna extend our base HTML. You can always have to end it with a percent sign. Block. Have to block title. And here we actually define register the system and block. You can see like here's like block title and block, the title. Actually we're defining it here. So it's gonna be passed there. And here we just block content to close it. I'm gonna go for it shortly. So here is like we're gonna set an if message. For example, if a password was incorrect or the user already exists in the database div class, we're gonna set an alert secondary. Gonna set role alert paragraph. We would suggest as well, like if you use VS Code, download a certain extension for yeah, HTML and so forth. They have like plenty of ones. And here we actually have to define in the to a bracket message. Right. And afterwards we have to always remember to close it and if. Right. And actually Bootstrap. Yeah, but this one I'm talking about, it's like quite a lot of examples and it's quite easy to use. And as well, like these examples, it's just had to download, yeah, use it like this, not download source code. You can see there's view. And I would say like Bootstrap is quite user friendly. But going back to the code. So here we have to define a form action. We'll set it as empty. And a method, set it as post. Div class, we have to define a form group. Set up a label. If you want, you can actually skip through this one. So full name. To define an input name. Yep, it's really important to set up the ID to be able to fetch from input all. So actually I've added the rest here. You have email, password, and password too. And you have like end form. Here you always have to specify the end block. And as recall, we extend from base. So this was gonna be an fr. We can try to run it with an app. Here you can see it's running on this port. Gonna check it out. See it like renders well, but actually now here you can add whatever. It doesn't want to even check for. It's just gonna reload because we didn't specify anything here. It just return render templates, and now we're gonna set up the conditions. So message as empty to return message just in case it's incorrect already. The email or password is already or email or the username is already added. If email in to check if the email is in session. URL for we have one other thing because we don't have logged in on other ones. For example, I press here, login, not found. Because the extend here, same about logout. Because here we have just from template, we have just two. Can actually add the rest quite shortly, but now I just want to do the index part. Then the main if. So redirect here for logged in. If request method is post, then user equals request form get full name. Then close it. So the full name we get from the name. So we get the name value from the form post when something presses submit and the form is being sent. Here I have the method as post, so it's gonna act accordingly. So we just specify the user, we specify the email, request form get email password 1 same thing can just be copied. Either found. Now we're going to specify if from the records.
One eternity later.
New email. So basically, after we have been saved the new registered user, we had to insert in the record. Here we're gonna find that email we just like put in our collection. We have to specify here user date, and by putting in this array, we're gonna actually get the value of the email. Here we render the template, and if it's like all done, we go here, and in the email we pass in the new email, because on default this return is gonna be run. So if we logged in, like at first we always add the extends base HTML to reference this one, the nav bar. It's gonna be quite a short one. Block title. And here we specify email. As you recall, here in the apps, when the user has registered, we passed in the email, and the email was passed in here, so we can retrieve it. So we can as well actually new file, application, unblock. Yeah, we can add as well. So for login, it works practically the same as index. The only difference is we just have the input as email and input as password. So we save all of them. Depends if you have like autosave on your interpreter. Something doesn't. Okay, now let's check. Yahoo. Volta. You can see here, hello, you have logged in as John Travolta. I didn't find logout. Wait a minute, I think because I don't have the, yeah, I don't have the root yet set up for logout, but all of these ones are here. So you can see, but now we can actually check our collection. Remember that from this one, that like when you create it, you actually pass in here. I already have done it. It's like here on tests. I'm gonna press connect and see if, and here I have total records and register. So now we have to still like create 3 other routes apart from registration. So you recall, so app, route. Now we're gonna specify the login, methods, post, and get.
One eternity later.
We can prompt the message, we don't have to, hypothetically, but so in default, when you log in, this one is being rendered, and then based on conditions, this one actually doesn't have to be there, I don't think so. Oh, it has to just the indentation. So shortly, if like email is in session, then redirect that it's you're logged in. This one as well here. Okay, doesn't matter. So and if post that the email found, okay, the email exists, then we check the password. If it matches, we encrypt as well the password and then match against yeah, the one in the database. And if it's correct, we log in. Otherwise, we prompt that it's wrong password. And even otherwise, like when even the email is wrong, we prompt that the email was not found in the database. Can check it. So Can I still log out? Okay, we're just gonna have to finish everything in one go, because the user still in session is. Okay, can I actually restart the application? Maybe then it's gonna work. Okay. Okay, that shouldn't be login. Review function for login. Like figure out the problem what that I don't have the other routes built in, because when I get here I don't have the ape route login. That was a problem, so I have to actually define the rest as well. App route, and then it should work. Okay, let's see if it works. Oh yeah, on default place login. John Travolta. You have logged in. You can see you have signed out. Register. I'm gonna say Jim Parker. Have logged in. Actually, log out. Doesn't show anything. Email address. Oh, I'm gonna try the same Jim Parker. Jim Parker. Didn't go. Like it doesn't work because already the user has been logged in. Okay, do I have anything? Yeah, we have the post. And now when I check, I actually have to refresh. Jim Parker. You have to. Come on. See, I put the wrong password, so it prompted me wrong password. Or if it's mail.com. Email not found in the database. So I'm gonna take register. If logged in. So now I'm gonna log. So yeah, I've been logged in, and now I can log out. So basically that's it. I hope you liked the video. Subscribe for more videos like this one. Next one I'm gonna actually optimize on my current one and make a password reset. So basically if there's So basically here, wrong password. So basically if like 3 times the password is wrong, then the user will be logged, right? And then you're gonna get like an email notification to reset it.